It is working to live streams. It's rather slow this morning. I don't know why. There we go. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and all of you potential Toastmasters out there. Welcome to Wake Up with Toastmasters. I am your co-host, Ken Richardson. I am also your program quality director. And my lovely co-host today, of course, is distinguished Toastmaster and past district director, Phyllis Tree. Good morning, Phyllis.
Good morning, Ken, and good morning to our public out there. I'm so happy that you've joined us.
Would you like to introduce our guest today?
Our guest today is Sid Maestre. He went to our chamber meeting for
Toastmasters
with Heart, and I met him there, and I told him, come and visit us on Wake Up with Toastmasters. Let us know about Toastmasters in your life. So please welcome Sid.
Hey, Sid, we're glad you're here. Thank you for joining us. I have to have a special comment about Sid. Sid and I have known each other for a number of years. He has been a member and past president of my Lions Club. So we've worked together before on many projects. And Sid, I want to start by asking you a little bit to tell us about yourself and your interest in Toastmasters.
Well, my interest, I could go back. I was in two clubs. The one was, I'll drink to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're still around, yes.
Over, I think, Maryland Parkway. And the first one I can't remember.
I
mean, I can't remember the name. I remember being there.
Where did they meet? Where was that meeting, the second club?
It was on the other side, north of the airport runway. And it was a block, whatever that street that runs parallel.
Okay, nothing's coming to mind, but in any event, why did you leave Toastmasters? Too much of the I'll drink to that? Too much drinking and not enough Toastmasters?
No, I didn't have a purpose. I could say my purpose wasn't clear on why I was there. And I did 10 speeches in the first group, but I wasn't really prepared. I didn't practice it. And I have an experience with the Dale Carnegie sales course years ago. And they taught it in a certain order of the classes. And so and then you had a speech at the end, the contest. So I wrote my presentation in the exact order that the scoring sheet was. And then I practiced it. I had a tape recorder. What they had back then.
I was going to say, can you describe what a tape recorder is for some of our viewers?
Yeah. Well, if you take a shoebox and then cut it in half laterally, so it's like 3 inches high, but the same shape. And anyway, and I practiced it, and I played it back. And I practiced it. So I went to the different rounds and to get to the finals with a close friend of mine, and he knew more about his subject than I did about mine. But it was a slam dunk to win because he was disorganized. And I've never really talked about this till right now, so it's always been in the back of my mind, but getting in front of my mind, I realized I'm creating some online courses, doing some webinars and teaching and so forth. In fact, the one that came out of our the fair, the charity fair, I think that I like to use that term. Creating a webinar and a course based on leadership, goal setting, and team building. Well, to do that, I've done other videos, generally just talking like this. Well, I want to have some points to make. In fact, I remember was it 5 steps You haven't, well,
We don't have a 5-step plan.
that's where it was what, no, I mean,
Oh, you mean in Dale Carnegie?
no, at Toastmasters,
Oh.
an introduction, tell them what you're going to tell them. You got 5 points you want to make, 3 points you want to make, and then you
Oh, okay.
summation with a call to action.
Okay, yeah. So you have the way I describe that is you have an opening, a body, and a closing, and within those, yeah, and within those. Now, Sid, we need to get you back in Toastmasters. If you're going to be doing some training, there's nothing better that'll help prepare you than to get practice in Toastmasters. So I want to go back and revisit your comments about Dale Carnegie. Do you feel that course gave you the tools you need? And what I hear often is that the Dale Carnegie course is very expensive.
Well, I'm a lot older. and it wasn't that expensive.
Oh, so this has been quite some time ago that you took that class.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to tell you what year.
That's okay, Sid. Well, tell me this.
We have all been there, Sid.
Oh yes. Well, tell me. You mentioned that you are embarking on some new projects, like doing some videos and maybe some podcasts. Did I hear you say for leadership? Is that correct? Can you straighten me out there on your plan?
Well, I'm creating it. This is good. It only came to me probably that day. I only knew about the fair on Tuesday when Guy was at the Lions meeting. And I was just how things happen. I was just sitting at another table and listening to his announcement and didn't give much thought to it. But when it was over and I went over to him, I was compelled to, I want to go there. And he said, are you still doing a personal development? And I said, yes. And I hadn't been real active. But when he said that, then I started thinking, I'm going to go there, I'm going to meet some people, and I want to connect with them. And I like to say, I think that give them some value in a 60, 90 minute webinar, and then a call to action to take a course I'm creating. But here's the, you'll love this. When you have a purpose, let's call it the deadline. I don't like to use the deadline. Oh, it just occurred to me, going live. And I'll go live in 9 days.
Oh, okay.
So I started a countdown on my notes each day. Today I have 10 days to launch, September 21st. And out of that, ideas are coming to me on what I want to present and the course I want to, the call to action.
Very good.
A 12-week course.
A 12-week course. And you mentioned before that when you were in Toastmasters, you felt like you didn't have a purpose, but it sounds like you may have found a purpose. Is that?
Yes, that's why I'm here today. I want to say I'm compelled. I have to tell you this, that I pay attention to my thinking. I mean, I'm serious. And I'm looking for I'm alert to new thoughts.
Well, then you should definitely get back involved with Toastmasters, because this will be an opportunity for you to bounce ideas off of people, to learn new ideas. What do you think, Phyllis? What are your thoughts on encouraging Sid here?
It is the place to do practice on the presentations that you will be giving. And it sounds like all Toastmasters would be interested in the things that you're going to talk about. I was wondering, how long ago was it that you were in Toastmasters?
Probably around, could have been 2013, 2015.
Oh, okay then.
So
not
spent
that long ago. I mean, it's not, I've been around since 97, so it wasn't that long ago. I might have seen you at I'll Drink to That. We can't tell.
Possibly, and I went to some of the competitions.
Mhm.
Ah,
Well, like back
I,
then, we only had 2 divisions. We had 10 contests for area and 2 for division, 12 contests, and people went to everything there was. That was the biggie events. We were all there, including the ones over in California. Never missed one of those either. So what do you think? Is it possible that Toastmasters can help you develop some of your skills?
Well, I'll just say there are 3 points. Yes, yes, and yes.
Yes, yes. Well, Cosmaster Toastmasters is this Friday. I invited you before, but I hope that you will meet with us on Friday and visit our Toastmaster group. We
Is this
meet
the-
at 8 a.m. on this Friday.
Skinny Dugans?
Skinny Dugans, that's the place. And for people that are out there visiting, come in and visit with us on Friday at Cosmasters because I'm buying coffee.
oh, all right. I wish I were going to be in town. I'd come, definitely. I know Skinny Dugan's used to have some great breakfast. We used to have my club met there on Wednesdays, but we're all online now. We haven't gone back to in person. But I hope I hope you will do that, Sid, because some of the things that have changed since you were in Toastmasters, we are now a separate district from California. As Phyllis alluded to, back in the day, prior to 2019, we were part of California. So part of District 33, which is a great district. I love being part of that. But the thing was, it grew so big, we had 10 divisions. So that meant when we had a district contest, it could go on for quite some time because you would have a representative from each division. I know this because in 2016, I was fortunate enough to win the district humorous contest. And it was a dinner meeting I think we were in Fresno, I remember. Because I think we were in Fresno, and I kept thinking, boy, this meeting's going to go on forever because we had 10 contestants. So, and it did go quite a long time. So in 2019, we'd been working on splitting off. We were growing and growing here in Southern Nevada. So we did separate, and now we have 4 divisions, A, B, C, and D instead of 10. Which does make the contest, makes it a little more manageable. The other thing that has changed, Sid, since you were in, we had the, what we call now the legacy program, where you did 10 speeches for competent communicator, and then you hit competent leader and what have you. Well, now we have something that's mainly online. It's called Pathways. And I mention it because it has some very special categories that might appeal to you. As I say, it's an online program where you do a series of projects, of course, speeches, but also leadership projects. And the paths are designed to help focus on your goals. For example, presentation mastery is one of the paths that I'm working on. And it focuses on being a good presenter, learning all of the tools of presenting a speech. Then there's one on leadership development. So there are different paths that focus on different aspects of communications and leadership. The other one that I'm on is engaging humor. So it's very similar to presentation mastery with a focus on how do you give humorous presentations. What about your paths, Phyllis? Can you tell us about the ones that you have signed up for?
Well, you've mentioned 2 of them. I have completed engaging humor. I've also completed effective coaching. And I'm now on presentation mastery, which I have, 1 or 2 speeches. And the one speech that I haven't got done is how to manage an unruly audience.
Ah,
And I have someone in mind that did this particular speech, and she just allowed everybody to talk up, and she was not bothered at all. She might do a couple sentences about making the audience, she was going to answer all those questions at the end, but she was so great at it that I don't think I'll ever be able to compare. One of the other guys did this particular speech, and he only allowed each of us to speak twice, where she allowed people to talk all the time. So definitely it was an unruly audience, where his was more controlled. So once I do that speech, I think I'll be at level 5. But that one is slowing me down because it's back in level 3. And there are 5 levels to each path. And that's what I'm talking about now. And all of them start out basically the same, talking about yourself with, for 4 to 6 minutes. Then a speech. I think the next one happens to be props, maybe. It was different when I was there. I know they've changed that second speech.
well, they do work on in level 1. You're sort of mastering the fundamentals,
Yeah.
and for our audience, and
Getting
some
up
of
and
the
speaking.
yes. So the projects there include an icebreaker, which is, as Phyllis noted, a 4 to 6 minute speech to sort of introduce yourself and your goals to the group. And then there are projects that help you with maintaining eye contact, with using vocal variety, with properly using gestures within your speech. So once you complete level 1, then you move up to level 2. It's a little more advanced, and it goes all the way up to level 5. And some of the projects in level 5 are extremely challenging. One of the ones that I always refer to, and I forget, it's on a couple of different paths, but it happens to be creating a podcast. So, and we have one of our Toastmasters, Nadia Gellix. I know Phyllis knows Nadia. You probably don't, Sid, but Nadia does a podcast. And it just so happens that at our next educational enrichment night, she is going to present a 2-hour class on giving a podcast. So I'll have to make sure I send you the information on that, Sid, and you can come join us. On the second Saturday of every month, we have what we call educational enrichment. And this is an online series of classes. And we always have, for example, a new member orientation. We always have an introduction to pathways. And we've started having what's called a Pathways Help Desk for some of our members who are not as familiar with the technology and how the program flows, because it is a little bit different. It took me a while to get really comfortable and accustomed to it. So we have what's called a Pathways Help Desk. And so we often offer about 6 different classes from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And Nadia is going to she's taking 2 hours. She's going to teach this class on doing a podcast. And that's one of the projects that you can do at level 5 within a couple of the different paths. They tend to be very, very sophisticated types of projects. So they're very, very challenging, I find. But like the legacy program, one level builds on another. And the goal is to give you challenging projects and speeches to help you practice and learn and then move into the next level.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
I have information that literally I can do multiple levels of, I've got content.
Mhm.
And my question is it a matter of organizing and presenting that content in different ways?
Well, in different projects is the way to say it. So you do have to go through the levels. You can't, you have to complete level 1, and you can look ahead, but you can't really, you can't jump, from 1 to 5 and get credit,
No, I understand. Yeah. I'm just saying, as I go through right now, if I could do a speech every day, if I was doing a speech every day, I could literally get 30.
Yeah, it's interesting you should say that. I have to tell you a story about one of our members who's now in Texas, and he had a distinguished Toastmaster from the Legacy program, as Phyllis and I do. And when Pathways came out, he was in like maybe 4 different clubs. Because if you're going to try and get done quickly, you need to be in multiple clubs so that you can present every day, as you said, a different project. That would be really, really challenging. But he did complete I don't know how long it took him. I think it was about a couple of years to complete all paths, all 11 paths. There are 11 different paths. So that to me was like, wow, that was determination and commitment. But in order to do a project every day, Sid, you would have to be in multiple clubs.
I was using that figuratively.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
But I'd forgotten, it was coming to me that I should be in a couple. But if I remember correctly, that first, what is the first?
Level 1.
Communicator?
Yeah, it was a competent communicator manual. That was the old Legacy program.
And the fact that based on number of members, how frequently you get to speak. But of the 10 I could have, I should say, multiple clubs, and it counts towards that 10.
No, it's different. You have to start over because the Legacy program is no longer in effect. So the competent communicator manual doesn't count. You would start in Pathways.
No, I'm not talking about what I did before.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't remember. I don't know if any paperwork went in that it was completed. No, I'm at ground zero.
Okay.
And if there's 10 in the first,
yeah.
What do you call the different
Level 1?
Yeah. What do you call it?
Actually, 5 levels
Okay.
in a path, and each level has approximately 3 to 5 speeches in it. Okay. And what I have told people that are not sure about Pathways is give the speech, and I think I can find the right project to make it work. So it's how you deliver it that we're looking for, not the topic. So whatever your topic is, works, and we'll find a place.
Yeah, let me give you another example. Sid, once you get through like level 2, level 3 has a couple of electives. So you get to choose which of a list of about what I know there are about 8 electives there that you can choose from to help guide your path. And then at levels 4 and 5, they also have some electives. And at level 5 is where you tend to do a leadership project, depending on what that is. And that's fairly high level when you get there. I'll give you an example of we talked about the podcast, creating a podcast. Another high performance project that Karen Moreo is working on, a friend of ours who happens to be an area director, is she is developing a club support team that would help struggling clubs to gain membership and to present a high quality program. So that's a project that is very involved, and it involves leadership, it involves curriculum design, that kind of thing, and presentation, and then recruitment of participants, both individual and club level. So there's some very, very sophisticated projects out there. And later, offline, I'll give you a link to where you can look at these projects on the TI website, on each path, and it's free. You don't have to join to be able to just look at them. But I do hope that you will take Phyllis up on her offer and visit her club. Toastmasters Guy is also in that club. They're small but mighty. They're a great group.
For Sid and for others, bear in mind that this is an educational program. So when you reach a new level, a new situation, you actually go in and evaluate yourself, how you feel about certain items now, Then you get the educational program of what the level is about. You have to read it off of the internet, of course, but there it is. And then they tell you how to proceed with your project and what to do next. And after you've completed it, given your speech, got an evaluation, then you go in and assess your value again. What did you learn during this project? And then after that, it is completed. So it's not like we're asking you to do a podcast without giving you the educational materials to do that podcast.
Right.
And each project is like that.
Yeah. And it's something that's continuously changing and evolving. The Toastmasters has made this long-term commitment into developing new paths. We have 11, as I mentioned right now. There are more in the planning stage. So I think it's a very robust program, and it's very flexible in terms of meeting the user's needs. And what I've always liked about Toastmasters is that opportunity to practice, and the fact that it's inexpensive compared to some of the other public speaking and leadership programs that are out there. You know, international dues are $45 every 6 months, or $90 a year. And then you might have some club dues on top of that, maybe $5 a month or something like that. So it's a very, very inexpensive way to learn. And it's self-paced. There's no one who's, sort of beating over your shoulder. You will be encouraged by your members, but no one's going to be beating over your shoulder. It's self-paced, so you get to move at your own pace, practice. You can practice over and over within a club setting. So it's, for me, it works very, very well. And I've been in Toastmasters now for 15 years, and I know Phyllis is 25, so I have some catching up. Well, I can see we've got about 3 minutes left, and I do want to make some announcements. But before I do that, are any final thoughts, Sid, that you'd like to share with our audience?
In selecting a club, do we have, like the Skinny Dugans, is that always in person? And there's
It's hybrid. It's hybrid. Some clubs are online only. We do have a few that are in person only. And then we have those that are hybrid, so you can attend. I'm correct on that, right, Phyllis? Your club
Yes,
meetings
we are hybrid. We have a Zoom account.
For example, in my club, Sid, we only meet online, and part of the reason for that was at the pandemic. That's how we evolved, and we actually have a member of our club who lives in the Philippines. He's from Las Vegas, but his work took him to the Philippines. So he stays connected by attending our meetings. So, Phyllis, do you have any final thoughts before we close out today's session?
Oh, while you were talking about pathways, I kept thinking about the one elective, and it is how to do an interview or how to prepare for an interview. I think many of our young people are looking for work, and so it's a great one. I'm glad
you brought that up, because there are opportunities that will help you at various stages of your career, whether you're just starting out or whether you're searching for a job and you need those interview skills. Well, I want to thank, go ahead. I'm sorry.
If I can ask one other question.
Sure.
For the my leadership the introductory webinar next week, and I don't know if there'll be 10 or 12 people, indications of interest at the fair, and a couple other people I know, that when I was going to invite them, I wanted them to, the people are going to attend to, I was thinking of what are 3 challenges that you're having in your job right now? Or what's the biggest challenge?
So
I want to have, let's just say, an overview, but I really want to spend time, most of the time, working with the their situations, because there's always a commonality. And I want to say that most of the webinar will be exchanging ideas and suggestions among the members, and I'm sort of like a facilitator.
Very good.
So-
All right, well, we need to wrap things up here. We are at our 6:30 time. I want to thank everyone for attending. Sid, I want to thank you for being
Thank
here
you,
today.
Sid.
And Phyllis and Sid, I hope you will take Phyllis up on her offer. Want to let everybody know that Wake Up with Toastmasters is on Facebook Monday through Friday at 6 a.m., but we are recorded, and that is posted on our Club Growth Director Facebook page, so you can watch the recording a little bit later. Coming down the pike, we are having, if you are a club president or a vice president of education, our district council meeting is on September 24th. You should have gotten a link for that meeting. It's going to be on Zoom. So hopefully we will see you there. So thank you both again, and we will see you later. We're going to be signing off. So have a great day and have a great week. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
See you.